I did it! It's here, my pregnancy planner. I designed a pregnancy planner. Hi guys, I'm Krista. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new around here, I am a stay-at-home mom of 3 kids under 3. I love journaling. I've been bullet journaling for the past 6 years. I've been scrapbooking and journaling since middle school. I believe that journaling can be used to unlock your unique creativity. So if you love journaling, if you love creativity, you should subscribe and stick around. Okay, today we're going to tour my pregnancy planner. There are 15 different layouts in here that can help you plan your pregnancy, birth, and postpartum. It's an undated planner, so this planner was made with the intent of you starting it at some point throughout your pregnancy. There's like no rush on when you need to do these spreads, but I'm calling it a pregnancy planner because I believe that your planner is the best place to journal. I'm in my planner at least once a week. I love a good Sunday planning sesh, and multiple times throughout the week I'm using my planner, and so I like to just throw in a little reflecting and filling out my planner, any empty spots to show what I've done during the day. So yes, it's a pregnancy planner, but that's because I believe a planner is a journal in one. So by the end of you using this pregnancy planner or adding some of these layouts to your pregnancy planner, bullet journal, or journal, it's going to help you remember this time in a really special and fun way. That is the goal. I want you to plan for this pregnancy, record it in a cute and fun way, and have joy all throughout the process. So let's get to it. So first things first, we have to talk about this cover. It is by Kenna Elizabeth Art, an artist and friend of mine who does really beautiful, mostly Christian-based art, but this is called Holding On to Heaven, this artwork. And so yeah, like I said, this planner is meant to like guide you through your pregnancy and birth. So I just thought this like really captured what this planner is going to be all about. So thank you, Kenna. This is a really, really cute cover. So let's open the inside. All right, here's our beautiful cover again. Now let's flip through it. So you've got the title page. You can put your name, dates, whatever you want right here. And I went with the butterfly theme because those have just been meaningful to me lately, and I think they're super cute. So here is the quote on the first page that I love. It says, "The moment a child is born, the mother is also born. She never existed before, the woman existed, but the mother never." I personally believe that each time you give birth to a baby, whether it's your first, second, third, fourth, fifth, however many you have, you as a mother go through a rebirth. I know lots of changes happened when I first had my baby, but honestly, with each baby that I've had them all pretty back to back. I have 3 kids, 3 and under. My life has changed and I've grown and changed as a person, which is awesome. So I have been through a lot of growth in the past little bit, all thanks to my pregnancies and this beautiful journey of pregnancy. And then here is a little spot for you to put an ultrasound. It's the measurements of an ultrasound, 4 by 3 inches. You can kind of see it and really lightly put it in there. So paste your ultrasound picture in when you've got it. And then here is a little message from me to you as the woman who is pregnant, of just like my journey with pregnancy, kind of going over what I just said. I just want this pregnancy planner to be useful to you. And so if you're using this planner, I hope you can like take these pages and find them useful or get some inspiration from some of these pages. So if you're buying the planner, don't feel like you have to use all of them. Just use the ones that are useful to you. So here we go. First up is what I call a pregnancy tracker. It's kind of spread across this page, and the next 2 pages. So my pregnancy tracker has a couple different, basically these are just journaling prompts. So again, these don't have to be used like right away. I have the prompt when we found out we were pregnant, which I think is really fun to journal about because there's like a story usually involved when you find out you're pregnant. It's life-changing news. So you're gonna like have some sort of way you found out you're pregnant, or maybe like things that you thought leading up to like being pregnant. We thought this, or maybe you just completely were not even sure you were pregnant and then it surprised you. So it's always a fun story to look back on. And then the other thing that I think is really fun is figuring out the gender. We've always chosen to figure out the gender before birth, but I think it would be really fun to find out the gender at birth. So anyways, it's just a fun way to like recap, journal about when you found out the gender. A really funny story, my first is a girl. My husband was convinced we were having all boys. So like when we found out in the ultrasound that we were having a girl, my husband was shocked. So I was a little bit shocked too. And so that's just like fun to look back on and think about. I remember we went to Target after to like buy a girl outfit, and my husband was just spewing out all these really random weird things, like I hate the color pink. We bought a pink outfit. I hate dresses. My girls can't wear makeup. I was just like, what is happening right now? He was very shocked. So anyways, these are just like fun things to like recount on. You can add pictures, paste pictures in here if you want to. Really fun journaling experience. Again, can be journaled about at any point in the pregnancy. I haven't seen this spread in any other like planners before. I don't know, this must have just like come from my head because I really love this and I've really valued this. So I did it in when I was pregnant with my first daughter. I made this pregnancy spread that I really liked, and it's just like helped me to understand my pregnancies really well for when I got pregnant again and again, pretty back to back. It was a little bit different, right? I had the one we found out first, and then first, second, third trimester. So I like put the dates of all the weeks of my pregnancy up here. So I tried to do that here too. You can like write out the weeks, like week 1, and like put the little dates in here. And so I also added the 4th trimester because like just like having gone through the cycle back to back 3 times, I feel like the postpartum like first 3 months is itself like another mood, another chunk of life. I mean, postpartum experience is really long. I know that. I have never even given myself the full year postpartum before I've gotten pregnant again. But like, I know that first 3 months is like kind of key and like good time to rest. So again, just like to journal about your physical symptoms, your mood. Those are honestly the main things that I journal about in here. This is all just kind of like about you as a person and like how you deal with these things, because I sent out this pregnancy planner to like one of my friends to look over. A couple people actually that were pregnant looked it over, and she was just like, well, what do you suggest putting in here? And like, honestly, so far, like in my planner, let's read a different one. So far, first trimester, I've been the most sick. I don't really get sick, although I really don't think it was that sick. I had been on a health kick at the beginning of the year, and we were eating lots of salads. Yeah, those didn't sound good anymore. I craved bread and pizza. Meats didn't sound that great. Evenings, I was sometimes a little nauseous. That was mostly it. I was also exhausted, took lots of naps, slept lots. Early naps, late naps, going to bed early, and no energy to do anything. Left work early a few times, but first trimester equals tired. So just like whatever you want to write. I also put it in this. This is for my boy. See, I even like forgot to color it in at the end. In fact, I think this is when I made this spread. Like I was well in my 3rd trimester when I made this spread, but I still think it's fun to like look back on, and just when you track something, you become more mindful of it. So this will just help if you're someone who wants multiple pregnancy, multiple kids, to just like know how your body goes through this cycle. Okay, so next spread, again inspired by a previous bullet journal. This I would say was most helpful for my first, because I was just like didn't know what was going on, but just like doctor's appointments, knowing what to ask, what I learned at those appointments. I think that's really helpful. By my 3rd baby, I don't feel like I needed this as much, but it's still just like nice to have a spot to like write stuff down for doctor's appointments, hospital, anything really, right? It's just like nice to have a record of that somewhere. So here's a doctor's appointments page. Next up, we have the pregnancy announcement page, which I've actually never done before. I added this here, and it just says, how do we plan to share our good news with our loved ones? So social media, right? You can do lots of like pregnancy announcements. I always have a lot of fun with this. Usually I like to just have a little cake celebration with my friends. I don't know. It's whatever you want to do. You don't have to make it a huge announcement, but of course you're going to want to share the news with somebody, whether it's through social media, phone, just your loved ones, right? How are you going to share it with them? And then you can even like paste pictures in here too if you want to. And then this is really fun. Hold on, let me get one thing. So I love to have a little theme with each of my babies and kids. I love to like set up their nursery, set up their space. All of my kids have like never had their own nursery or room when I've had them. They're either usually in my room or have like a little nook or cranny somewhere. So I like to kind of just like decorate that space. I've decorated that space more for my kids than I have my bedroom for myself ever. Okay, so I made a vision board for my first daughter I think it was the only one, but like the theme, I've always had like a theme for my kids. I think I made it for my second one too, but like this is, oh, sorry about the glare. This is the vision board for my first baby, just like kind of the vibes I was going for her setting up her nursery and stuff. So again, take it if you want to do it. I just have a lot of fun like decorating my kids' room. So I just think this is fun to like kind of brainstorm what I want to do for their theme and sometimes their nursery, just like even like their clothes. Like Sophia, my latest, my third daughter, her theme was literally just like pink and green. Like I didn't really have much of a theme besides just like I found this green checkered material that I wanted her sheets to be made of, so my mom made that for her. So just like having kind of like a vibe or a theme for them is just like fun for me. Okay, next, this is always fun to think of, like what you need for your nursery. I mean, you can go crazy with this. You really don't need a lot of things. If you want my honest advice of what you need for your baby, I would say burp rags, crib. Honestly, actually, I'm not really in the space to like think of this right now. I'm doing this while I'm not pregnant, which I think is just like good for me. I had plans to do this last year, but I just think I was pregnant, so I didn't really want to do it while I was pregnant, and I'm not pregnant, nor do I have plans to like be pregnant at any time soon. I mean, well, yeah, of course I have plans to be pregnant soon, whatever soon means to people, but I want more kids. But like I'm not actively in this mode right now, which I think is helpful. So anyways, nursery needs, registry items, like it's always good to kind of like maybe know what you need or know what you'd want to register for, even if it's not your first kid. Like people usually will want to get things for you, so it's nice to have a link. I kind of did this spread for my first, this was what my nursery needs were, and then this is like baby shower stuff. So again, I put baby shower right here, like maybe who do you want invited, and again, this doesn't have to be a full-on shower. I have technically had like some sort of baby shower for each of my kids, but like my last baby, I didn't really want a full-on shower. I literally didn't need to. I've bought in my daughter that I just had 2 outfits, and don't get me wrong, like I love baby clothes, but I just like have saved all my other daughter's stuff, and I loved all her stuff, so it's like I've bought in her 2 outfits. Still, like people have bought in her things. Like she got a lot of new things from our little sprinkle, so that was just like enough for me. So again, like whatever you want to call this, baby shower, baby sprinkle, come up with a theme. You know I love a theme. My theme for my daughter was books. For this last one, for my son, it was like ocean theme. For my baby shower for my daughter, I don't even remember because it was just my first. I think it was just pink. Everything pink. But yeah, and then like I put a little space. Anytime that there's like blank space, I like to like call that journaling space or reflection space. So I wrote reflection right here. But yeah, like I thought it could be fun to like write out about your baby shower after you have it, or like post a picture here just so like you can kind of remember those moments. So again, planner and journal in one here. Okay, so now we have a spot for birth plan. I always like to kind of know what my plan of action is for birth. With my first, I don't even think I had a birth plan. It was just have the baby, question mark. I didn't really know how that worked. That's how much I thought about birth. But anyways, I've gotten a lot more thoughts on it. So I added a few questions. You can add whatever you want here: hospital or home, plan to handle labor pain, who is coming, who's taking care of our house pets, other children during birth, just things to think about for your birth plan. This I think is really awesome. I definitely wrote down some affirmations for my last baby because my first birth was an induction that I didn't love. My second birth was, I specifically didn't want to be induced, but ended up having the baby 20 minutes after I got to the hospital. So yes, I had a natural birth, but no, it was not planned to be that way. And personally, I do not want to do that ever again to myself. And so anyways, my third birth, I was trying to like be really thoughtful and intentional with it, and it was my best birth yet. And it was an induction, and it was really good. So like I wrote out some affirmations beforehand that I think really helps me, of just like, I can do this. I don't even remember what they were, but I think that's really helpful in the moment. It was really helpful to me. And again, I'm not in the moment right now, but I feel like this could be helpful for someone who's pregnant, about to have birth. Hospital bag. I always need a place to write out like, what am I taking to the hospital, or what are you bringing with you for wherever you go to have birth. I call it a hospital bag, but yeah, it's always good to kind of like think about that and prepare for that. Birth, man. I'm so glad my last birth was good because my first two were like birth story, right? I remember before I had kids, whenever I would get together with my sister or moms and they would always be telling their birth stories, and I was just like, what again? Like, why are we talking about this? Birth stories are amazing. Now I'm like telling those stories to everyone because I'm just like, what just happened? It just pushed a baby out of me. So again, birth story, always fun to write that out. Definitely love writing out birth stories. I think my first and second, I typed them in my phone because I just wanted to type them somewhere. And I think I printed them and put them in a scrapbook, but I like that this is just all in one spot. Okay, so next up we have postpartum plan. And so again, I just kind of brain dumped some thoughts, what supports what I love immediately postpartum so that I can balance taking care of my new baby, myself, and other children, pets, relationships during this time. If you don't get to planning this could just be another spot to write out postpartum needs, plans, thoughts. Just an example to think of, I know some people love to be brought meals. For me, I don't need that or want that because my husband cooks and he loves to cook for me and he loves to cook for us. So I need other things like someone to play with my toddlers, things like that. So just be thoughtful of your situation with postpartum plans. What do you need? Baby names. I put this right here because I don't know about you, but choosing the baby name just feels so special and hard, right? It's hard to name a kid. And I don't know, I just didn't want to put it at the front of the book because in my perfect pregnancy planner, it's not something someone can just open to, even though generally it's the first question anyone asks you is oh, you're pregnant, congrats, so what are you naming him? And sometimes it's can I just not tell you? I just want to think of it myself for a minute here. So anyways, I kind of put it at the end here so you could just list off baby names, baby ideas if you don't want anyone prying. And then last, I think this is our last layout / spread for this pregnancy planner. This was inspired by my daughter's scrapbook, and I've done it in my son's scrapbook too. My third, she doesn't even have a scrapbook. Remember what I said? Scrapbooking is hard for me to do because I just I'm not in it every day. I'm in my planner every day. Okay, so here's my daughter's scrapbook, and the first page is an introduction page and just writing the things out. Sorry about the glare. And then some of these things also here's a baby shower spread. Here's her birth story. I printed it out. And then here's the 12 months of the baby. I really like that. So I thought it'd be fun to include that in here. I gave you the dimensions of these pictures, 2 by 2.5 inches. So if you are not sure how to print something in that dimensions, go to Canva and size the picture how you want to and cut it out there. This is a 4 by 3, so you can put a little newborn picture here, post a couple in here. I just think it's really fun to see them grow so much in that first year. And then we get to the planner part. So for the planner part, I included 12 blank monthly spreads. So there are 5 weeks and you can fill in the months. There's 12 of them. I have a little to-do spot right here. I don't love the word to-do anymore. I like to just think of what would inspire me this month or what would I like to happen this month and put it right here. Okay, so there's 12 months all in a row and they're undated. So honestly, you could do this at any point in your pregnancy. It could be the 9 months of your pregnancy plus the first 3 months postpartum. It could be 6 months while you're pregnant, 6 months postpartum. Okay, and then I also included, there's 24 weekly layouts in here. So I'll show you a couple examples in my spread. So like I said, usually the bottom space I use for reflecting. I used to just journal about my kids in the bottoms. This was my when I had 2 kids, I would write about Celine and Raphael. These are my 2 kids each week in my journal. Lately, I've decided that it's important to include a personal reflection too. So anyways, wherever you're at in your pregnancy, you can record about your actual pregnancy, or if it's postpartum, you can write stuff down about your baby. You can also just do any sort of personal reflection, right? Of just where you're at, how it's going for you. Something else that's fun to put in there is like when you fed your baby. So like I used to list out like the hours of the day that I fed my baby. I actually don't do that with my third right now, but like you could highlight, you get like a marker and like color in when you're feeding your baby. You could use this to record contractions, anything you want. But yeah, there's 24 weeks, so you don't have to use it every single week, but I think it could be fun to use for planning purposes. But I definitely knew I wanted to include like planner purposes in here because I'm someone who likes to plan every week. When I'm pregnant though, sometimes I'm not as good at planning because, you know, sometimes some weeks I have less energy than others. So there's 24 weeks in here. And then at the end of the bullet journal, there's just like 10 blank dot grid pages for you to do whatever you want with. So there you have it. There's my dream pregnancy planner. Like literally, this is the dream planner. For me, it's combining all my journaling, all my planner stuff in one, all my bullet journaling stuff. I just think it's really, really cool. I put a lot of thought and like heart into this. Hopefully this inspired you to add some journaling, reflecting, planning into your pregnancy, birth experience, and hopefully it helps you just like feel that joy and peace of bringing a new baby into this world. If you like it as is, you can order it. I put it in the description box. If you love this planner, send it to your mom, send it to your mother-in-law, send it to your spouse, have them get it for you. I know when I was first pregnant with my daughter, my mother-in-law got me a pregnancy journal type thing, and I was like pretty obsessed with it. It was kind of like, I can't remember if it was actually a journal, but I was just like, this is really cool. I didn't really use it because it just like, it wasn't exactly how I wanted. So anyways, your mother-in-law, your mom, the grandmas of this baby that you're about to have, your spouse, they want to support you in this journey too. So like share this with them. If you are a mom or a grandma soon to be, get this for your girl. Help her prepare for birth and like bring the special one into their life. And yeah, I'm just really excited about it. I think it's like really gonna help you, help people. Hopefully this helps you feel good and excited about birth. And I have done it a lot recently, so if you have any questions, comments, anything you want to ask me, leave them below. I hope this helped you out. Go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already, and thank you so much for watching. We will see you next time. Bye bye.